All right, so this is the first video of the year. Happy New Year. I know it's late, but it is what it is. I've been busy doing other stuff. I've just been working out what I want to do for the year, working on some things that I wanted to release early on. I wanted to work on some concepts and things like that, switching things up, what everybody does every year as we start. I just wanted to share with you guys something that I was working on last week. A little experiment on just coming from idea and actually getting a product in customers' hands. So last year, I was trying to do my annual returns for my company, and I came across this thing that was introduced by CIPC, which is the South African registration something. It's where we register all our South African companies, right? And they now require a thing called a beneficial ownership submission to happen before you actually can submit your annual returns for that year and continue running your company. And this actually puts you at risk for company deregistration or penalties if you're running that company without the beneficial ownership declared. I spent about 3 days literally working on this thing, trying to figure out what are these documents that they need, what is the list of documents that they need. That was the biggest pain point. I couldn't figure out what was actually the documents that they need. Now, typically, you would just download a form somewhere, fill it up, and submit it back to them, but this wasn't the case. Secondly, it was just figuring out what the process was. There was a little bit of guidelines on the website which made it better. So that part was kind of like covered. Whole idea around the documents was not quite clear. So last week, or rather the week before, over the weekend, I decided that let me create something based on the template that I had, because I basically was able to eventually, after hours and days of looking for this thing, I eventually managed to find a template somewhere online. And this template had basically a form that you could fill, and then it would generate these documents kind of like in an Excel spreadsheet. So I thought this was something that would be cool to give people online, and to add the extra benefit on top of that, I added the functionality for you to be able to actually do the signing online, so that when you download the documents, everything is just downloaded, ready to go for submission. You just have to put in your certified copy of your ID, and off you go. Bob's your uncle. Jumped into my favorite AI editor these days, which is Cursor. I use Cursor for most of my ideas, just generating kind of like basic landing pages and things like that. It's like hiring a junior developer, designer, front end web person, really. And I gladly pay the $20 for it every month. I think it's totally worth it, right? It covers probably half of the work that I need to do in preparing, or kind of like just putting an idea out there. But in this case, I actually use Cursor end to end. I did not actually type a single line of code. I just told Cursor what I wanted it to do. I gave it kind of like the form fields, what the documents were supposed to look like, the templates and things like that, and off it went. It was about 3 to 4, 5, 6 hours of working around with this thing, trying to make it work, but eventually it did work. I launched it on the Sunday night, last Sunday night, and I let it kind of like run throughout the whole week. I set up a basic Facebook page so that I can run some ads. I put up um, a basic ad, just boosted a post that I had posted on the Facebook page that I just created. I joined a bunch of CIPC company registration groups within South Africa, just to kind of like put the word out there, so that it has a little bit of more organic reach. And yeah, I also went in and created some Google ads, just very basic, based on the images and the things that I had done on Facebook, and I just let it run. Somewhere along with the week, some of the ads kind of like stopped working. I don't know why on Facebook. I need to kind of like learn this process and see how it works and see how it goes the next time around, do it a little bit more diligently. Uh, but yeah, the kind of like results kind of dropped, right? So all in all, within the first week, I managed to get about 750 people on the website, and there was kind of like a very good click-through rate, if considering that it was kind of like a few thousand impressions that had brought those 700 people to the website. So the click-through rate was pretty good, which was a good signifier that people kind of like wanted to learn more about what this thing was, and somehow when they got to the website something did not work out. Right, what didn't work out, I'm not sure, because my Hotjar integration that I had done was kind of like not working, and I was lazy to fix it. I am gonna be, fixing and tweaking most of those things sometime this week. Yeah, if I find time after hours like this. As much as there was no conversion, it was a good experiment and an exercise to just kind of like get the idea out there, build a minimum viable product, focus on that one issue. The website literally does just that. There's no login. You just generate your documents, make the payment, and Bob's your uncle. I did put it under paywall because I wanted to see if it will actually, be a profitable thing that I can get out there with basic marketing and things like that. And this is something that I want to be doing more and more over this year, creating micro SaaS ideas. I've got other things that I'm also working on that are in the pipeline, some of which I am actually releasing this week. I'll be talking about them, yeah, as we update each other, posting these videos. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so keep an eye on that if you want to get more updates on some of the micro SaaS ideas, and just how I am taking these products from ideas into actual living code websites, web apps, whatever you want to call them, with basic AI tools, really. And that is the theme here, is that I think we're living in an era where people can easily realize whatever is in their head and be able to actually bring it to fruition and sell it. It's kind of like all part of a framework that I'm building, and I'll be telling you more about that as we go through this journey. But yeah, if you are interested in that, go to dobetterux.com. The link is in the description. You'll find a little bit more information on an article that I put down with like all kind of like the breakdown of the conversion rate and the actual numbers of the Facebook and Google ads that I ran on this project. It is called beyourdogs.co.za. If you're in South Africa and you're watching this, try it out, and let me know what you think. That's it for today. Catch you guys in the next one.